Well, hello there. My name is Vinay and you guys know me from Instagram as Vink Photography. Today we're back again at the Nanlite studio. Today's video is basically going to be about me telling you guys what are the various light modifiers that you can add. Softboxes, diffuser, lantern lights, projector mounts. What all is there that you can put in front of your light? And what is the effect and the result of it? So without further ado, let's just strap some modifiers on these lights and I'll show you what they do and what these modifiers are. Let's go!
Let's say our confirmed office is down 1980 Park Avenue.
So, the first way to light a subject up, the first way to light a scene up, is shoot it bare. So just shoot it right without any modifiers, just light spilling onto the scene. I usually like to shoot that way to get a particular very harsh, crisp look out of the image because you get very, very defined shadows. But apart from that, I'd always strap on a modifier and then proceed from there on. So let's strap a modifier. So we have the basic modifier that comes with a light that's actually in the box. They give you this free of cost and it's great. Why is it great? Let's put it on and let's see. This is basically what I call as a reflector bowl. You can also call it as a reflector. It's fine, it works both ways. But the beauty about this is it's so basic, it's so great that it, instead of lighting a scene up crisply through and through with an even kind of light, this has a center hot point. And then it causes a circular halation around the scene. So anything in the center of the light, where the light is falling off in the same plane, the center of the plane is going to be the most lit by the light at that point of time because the light's hitting it directly at that point. And anything around it is going to slightly just diffuse the light through and through in a very radial circular pattern. And that's the kind of effect that you get with a basic reflector bowl that comes right out of the box. Then you have the specific Nanlite FMM45S reflector. This is also one of my favorites. This is actually a nice change from the reflector bowl per se because the bowl has a slightly larger surface area. So light fall off is a lot more, but there's a very strong center hot point. But because this is more like a cylinder, the center hot point is still very diffused. So as the light moves out in that still circular radial pattern, you actually get a nice fall off from the center hot point to the edges. This will have a very strong center hot point and this will not have that strong a center hot point because your light's nicely diffusing towards the edges, again in a circular radial pattern. Then you have the Fresnel come barn door come really cool stuff that you can do with it. So let's put that up. So as you guys know, if you guys have used a Fresnel or a barn door before, it works the exact same way. You can basically use the barn doors and just shape your light in any way and form that you want. You want a thin sliver, you want to close it up even more, you can do that. But the really good thing is because this actually has a Fresnel mount on it, you can have a zooming feature. You can basically concentrate the light onto the subject slightly more, have that center hot point get hotter or get lighter and get more diffused just based on how you're zooming in the Fresnel lens, because that's how Fresnel lenses work. You are able to zoom the light in, you're able to focus more of the light on that center hot point, and if you don't want to do that, then you can just basically zoom it out. So it's got a zooming feature because it's a Fresnel mount, and you have barn doors to again focus and cut off that light in exactly the way that you want. And this is the Nanlite FL11 barn door come Fresnel set. Pretty much hidden right now. Let me just turn the light around. Now we have the Nanlite softbox for the Forza 60. I have basically showing you all the modifiers that you can put on the Forza 60C. It's got a different Bowens mount. It's not the universal Bowens mount, it's a little smaller. So all the accessories that I'm showing right now actually fit the Forza 60C. But these are accessories that you can buy for your Bowens mount as well. A softbox is a softbox. It's a box that's soft, it's parabolic in nature. As you can see, there is a center hot point and it moves the light through a diffusion material and just creates a really soft light. If I just open this up a little bit, you can see that inside of the softbox is again a silver lining film, and what that does is once the light comes out from the unit, it just diffuses it around through the silver reflector material and then shoots a more diffused light out through the thin softbox lining. You can also use the softbox without the lining and have a different, slightly more harsher look, but I mean, very rarely do people use it that way. The other way to actually do that is to have a reverse parabolic umbrella and the light fires into the silver film area instead of firing through it. So that again diffuses the light more, gets an even more softer, more refined light out of the parabolic softbox or the reverse parabolic softbox. And then it's all about how you control your shadows. These softboxes make shadows almost inexistent based on how far your subject is from the wall or how far your subject is from the background and how you're using the lights per se. So the softer the light that you can create, the less intense the shadow is going to be. And sometimes that works, sometimes you want harsh shadows. It all depends on how you work through it. Next I have is this really big bad boy. This is the PJ BM. This is actually meant for the really heavy duty Forza 500, Forza 300 series lights, even the Nanlite lights. It's just that right now the projector mount wasn't available for the Forza 60, so I can't really show you what it looks like on that, but that projector mount is basically a smaller version of this. But what the projector basically does is, as you can see in this example, it doesn't have a radial diffusion pattern. It's one light hitting the surface at a perfect crisp circle. That's the beauty of using a projector mount on a light like that. It's a spot, it's an absolute spot, because there's a lens element that's inside this projection mount. It is able to cast a perfect circular spot, and you have slots where you can insert your gobos and your another further light cutting and shaping tools to change how that perfect circle looks like. You can refine it, you can slice it up, you can add gobos to make it like a window pattern, you can add patterns to this kind of harsh light that's falling onto the subject, the scene. And this is, I think, one of the most hotcake selling products of the Nanlite range. It is the Nanlite projector mount. So one of my favorite accessories, I won't deny. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it, especially if you have a lot of fog in the room. You can have the light cut through and get some really interesting effects out of it, as you can see in this example. But this is one accessory to reckon with. The one for the Forza 60 is actually much lighter than this. This one's a heavyweight champion. Next we have is a really huge, different sort of softbox. This is what we call a China ball or a lantern light. That's how it looks like. It's like an umbrella, it's like a ball. This is the Nanlite's Lantern Softbox 80. So the beauty of using something like this is that if you have two people or a scene gathered around in a circular formation and you want to shoot it that way, or even if there are two people talking front to front in a conversation or whatever, this is a perfect way to light both of them up with a top light. It also gives them a nice key. Again, one of the great light modifiers. I haven't used one personally, per se, to light a scene up yet, but I know the effects and I know the benefits of having something like this, especially if you don't want to have a two light setup running. This saves you space, this gets the scene lit even more evenly, and it gets your subjects lit even more perfectly. Perfect soft light, perfect light for the ambience and environment. So that's this. And that was it, guys. As you could see, I have showed you all the various modifiers that you will ever possibly use, ever possibly own, ever possibly have the privilege of experimenting with, playing around with at your sets and your shoots and everything. But of course, just let me know down in the comments below which one do you think is your favorite, or which one do you actually use from the Nanlite range. I won't leave this light blank open. I will put a nice reflector on it. So anyways, guys, that was it for this video. I hope you got a slight variation and a slight understanding of how you can use these modifiers to create the kind of sets and the kind of lightings that you want, to kind of see how the shadow fall off, the light fall off works, and how it plays onto your subject, and how you can also refine and define the use purpose of these modifiers apart from the actual way that they have been used in books and in YouTube videos and other people, other creators. It's just a light source at the end of the day. How you use it and how you place it is entirely dependent on how you see the scene and how you can creatively mingle around with that aspect of being conventional or being unconventional. So that was it for me, guys. I'm going to catch you in the next one. We're going to go right back to my place, and you know what? just quickly reverse this light and get the studio to look exactly how I had first started to make it. You need that blue light up there. Let's increase the intensity. And there you go. I'm back to being Jesus of sorts. Much shorter hair now. And I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. More stuff dropping soon, more stuff hopefully dropping soon, because I have a problem being consistent with my videos. Nevertheless, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!